welcome back. This is a tutorial on how to do the second half of the database assignment. As you notice, I have table 1 and the 3 queries that you were to write in here. This is table 2. Table 2, I wanted you just to make up 10 random names. So I threw in my daughter's name, my wife's name, and my mom's maiden name in here, and I made up phone numbers and addresses and favorite colors and birth months for them. There's a few queries on there that are really easy to do that I'm not going to teach you how to do because if you understood the last one, you should understood how to select things and order by things and sort things. In fact, this is how to do the very first one on that list. You select the last name, first name from table 2 and order it, sort it by the last name. If you click design up here and run, it'll run it. Or you can actually just click the view too, and there you go. It gave the first last name. So that's how you do the first one. It's very simple. It has to do with the first half of the assignment. However, the next two, we're getting into more advanced SQL stuff. And we're going to actually add columns using SQL and add entries using SNL on these next two. And then the last two are just, the last one is just you having fun, just doing whatever you want to do. The fourth one on the list is more filtering and sorting and all of that just to practice. But I'm at least going to talk through the second and the third one here. So this one is how to add a column using SQL. You use what's called the alter table command. So we are actually going to alter table 2. And so we're going to change it. Alter means to change. And we are going to add a column. You're going to want to type this almost exactly. So I'll leave it up here for you. You actually have to, in the code, specify what you want the column to be named. I want the column to be named state and the data type. And so the data type is variable character 255 in quotes there. So don't worry about that. We're going to get into that when we get into Java programming a lot more. But right now, just copy that down. And that will add a column. And so you can even play around with this and add other columns if you want. In order to run it, once again, we're in design up here, run. In order to run it, you actually have to close the table itself, which I just did. I don't think I did that on purpose, but I did. Now we can run it, and it will say, table 2, somebody else is using table 2. That's what it will say. I have no idea who else is using table 2. Maybe query, yeah, query 3 is, so switch query 3 back to SQLU. You may even have to close it. You have to do some problem solving there. There we go. It ran. Isn't that funny? It didn't let you know that it ran. Our sign that it ran is it didn't give us any message at all. But now when we reopen table 2 by double clicking here, there it is. It added a state column. But now notice nothing's in the column, but we can add things in the state. We'll say Utah. We'll say Wyoming. We'll say Oregon. So that's what we'll say. I won't tell you where they actually live, although you could guess that, my wife and daughter live here in Utah with me. So now we fill it in, and we added a column using SQL. Isn't that cool? So we're going to close this back down. A little bit surprised it didn't save. And now on to the next query. We're actually going to insert an entry into our table using nothing but SQL. And so how we do that is we use the insert into command, which is used when I want to insert a row. When I want to add a column, I use the alter table add because I'm actually altering the table itself. Remember, tables are made of columns. So now we actually just want to insert an entry into it. So we insert we first write the table name, which in this case is table 2. And then in parentheses and separated by commas, we specify the columns we want to fill the information in. So I've retyped all the column names here. Remember, they have to match exactly what the column names are in your actual table. So make sure they match exactly. If you misspelled it in one place, you have to misspell it in the other place. If it's capital in one place, it has to be capital in the other place. So it has to match exactly, and with no spaces, by the way. So make sure none of your column names have spaces. And then I say values. So I'm inserting these values into these columns, into this table. And I inserted myself. This one, you have to have quotation marks, and the commas have to be outside the quotation marks. So quotation marks, Lambert, quotation marks, comma, quotation marks, Kevin, quotation marks, comma, quotation marks, phone number, quotation marks, comma, and so on and so forth. And notice I've added the state column, which I haven't done here yet. So I'm going to add state, and I'm going to say I live in New York City, center of the universe. So remember, every query too has to end with a semicolon. It's actually extremely hard to see on my screen, but just remember you need a semicolon down here. Now when I go to run it, it will ask, this time it will say, are you sure? Oh, look at that, because I didn't add state up here. So I need to add state up here. That's why I got that error message. Now when I run it, it'll say, hey, you're about to append one row. You're about to add to a row. If you want to do that, then click yes. So, yep, I do. Now it did it. Now when I open table 2, look, it added me. So, isn't that fun? So that's how you add entries and columns. You're probably never going to use that part of SQL, really, but it's still fun to know, and fun to know you can do it. You can actually do 100 more things with SQL, but this class is just about teaching you the basics. Remember, there are 3 more on this assignment. You have to filter, do a filter, and a sort together, and then you have to select, there's 2 more, sorry. You have to select 3 of your columns that are not the names, and write a filter yourself and sort it by something else. So I'll let you do that. Now, of note on the last one is you have to use the end command in all caps. Sort by this and this, which means it will do one first and then another one second. So you kind of have a double sort going on there. So have fun, good luck. Let me know if you have questions. Thanks.